So very good evening everyone. Now today we are going to discuss about the laws of chemical reaction. Laws of chemical reaction. Okay, the laws of chemical reaction. First law we have the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass. Okay, it is really very important law for any chemical reaction. Whenever we are writing, we have to balance number of atom on both the side, like reactant side as well as product side. Okay, so we have to write first the statement of the law of conservation of mass. So the law states that the law states that during the chemical reaction, during any chemical reaction, during any chemical reaction mass neither be created nor be destroyed during the chemical or any chemical reaction. Mass neither be created nor be destroyed. It okay, during the any chemical reaction, mass neither be created nor be destroyed. It always conserve. It always conserve. Okay, so just you have to remember, during any chemical reaction, the mass of the substance is not going to create nor be destroyed. Okay, during any chemical reaction, the mass will conserve. Okay, so in order to prove the law of conservation of mass, we have to go through few chemical reactions. Okay, so for that you have to know how to calculate the molecular mass. Okay, so let me write first the chemical reaction. So I'm just burning CH4, which is the methane. Okay, I'm just burning methane in presence of oxygen.
Sir, we
Okay,
take the molecular mass or the actual mass of the substance? Like we take the molecular mass of CH4, or we take the how much we take how much grams of CH4?
see, it is directly related with the molecular mass and
No, sir, like
the
because in many textbooks I've seen they take the amount which they take the mass as the amount which they have taken in the container. For example, we take
yes.
1 gram of CH4, so something like that.
Yes,
They don't take
because
the total mass.
in any compound, if we are taking that mass in like a gram or kilogram, it depends on the amount of matter that we have used. First, let me write the chemical reaction first. Okay, then we will discuss that also. So here we have methane. We are burning methane in presence of excess of air. It gives, see, carbon will get oxidized to form carbon dioxide, and hydrogen will also get oxidized to form H2O. So here we have 4 hydrogens. So I'm just writing here twice H2O. Now in product side, we had 2 oxygen on carbon dioxide and 2 oxygen on 2 water molecule. Means we have 4 oxygen on product side. But in reactant side, we have only 2. So I'm just multiplying by 2 coefficient. Now the reaction is balanced. Now we have to check the mass. Okay. So here we have the mass of carbon is what? It is 12 gram.
12U.
Yes, 12 atomic mass unit. Mass of one hydrogen is what? It is 1.
For 1U and into 4, so 4U.
Yeah. So for one hydrogen we have 1. So we have 4 hydrogen atoms. So we have to multiply it by 4. So now we have total 4 unified mass plus 12. So in CH4 we have total 16 atomic mass unit, AMU or U also. For oxygen, here we have total 4. So mass or atomic
Yes,
mass
sir.
of one
16
oxygen
U
is
into 4.
16
16 U into
into
4.
4. So total it is 64. So 64 plus 16 is what? It is 80 unified mass. Okay, so in the reactant side, the total molecular mass or the atomic mass unit is 60, oh, no, 80 unified mass or atomic mass unit. Now, for product side, we have to check. This is the final mass, huh? This is the final one. So here the mass of carbon is 12, mass of oxygen is 16. We had 2 atoms, we have to multiply it by 2. So here we had 12 plus here 32. So 12 plus 32 is what? It is 44. And here for 2 oxygen atom, we had 2 into 16 means 32, and we have 4 hydrogen atom, so plus 4. So 32 plus 4 is what? It is 36. Now we have to add 36 and 44. How much it is?
80.
80. Yes. So see here, on both the side, we have 80 unified mass. Both the side means the reaction is balanced and the mass is conserved. Okay. So in any chemical reaction, the mass neither be created nor be destroyed. Hence, the mass is conserved. Okay. So this is the law of conservation of mass. So in order to use so now we have to understand where it is going to be used. So whenever we are going to write any kind of chemical reaction, we have to balance that chemical reaction, means number of number of atoms on reactant side must be equals to number of atoms on product side. That's all, nothing more than that. Okay, so I want you have to take a screenshot for that, then we will discuss few more point about the law of conservation of mass. Take a screenshot, everyone. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Sir, so we take molecular mass or the.
Okay, yeah, that I'm using. Suppose beta, I'm taking suppose I'm going to take water molecule. Okay, suppose I'm taking 90 gram of H2O molecule. It is hydrogen, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. I'm just taking mass 90 gram. Okay, so now I have to check how many molecules of H2O, like hydrogen and 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, means how many molecules we have here. We have to check that. Okay, I have taken that in gram. Okay, so now I am going to check that, like we know molecular mass of water is what? It is 18. Is it?
Yes,
We
sir.
have 16 for
16
oxygen
plus 2.
and plus
16
2.
plus- Yes, sir.
2 for 2 hydrogen. So total is
Yes.
18. So now I have to check like how many moles of particles we have in 90 gram of. So we know that moles equals to what?
Oh,
Moles.
yes, sir. Moles.
It is mass
Mass.
divided by molar mass. So what is mass? It is 90 gram. And what is molecular mass? It is 18. So
18.
if I will divide, then I will get
18 is to 1 mole is to 90 is to X
yeah.
mole.
So 5
mole.
yeah,
Yes.
5 moles per gram. Okay, so this is the 5 moles we have got here. So now what is 5 moles means what? How many particles? So number of particles
5 into
is
6. 5
yeah,
into 6
is 5 into
6.0.
6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. Yes.
Yes.
So if you will multiply, you will get so
Yes, sir. So this molecular
yes.
mass is directly related to.
Yes, yes. So the mass of the substance is directly related to the molar mass.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, molar mass will be the total molecular mass, right? Like
Molar mass is
1 mole is equal to the molecular mass of some substance.
no. 1 mole is about like see, we cannot measure the property for one water molecule because it is really very small and it is very difficult to measure that. That's why in chemistry we are dealing with bulk of properties of matter. That's why we are using 1 mole here. If we have
So
not
like molecular mass of H2 is 18. So this
Mhm.
18 grams will form 1 mole. I see.
Yes. Okay. So here we have used that CH4. Here is nothing but 1. Means we are discussing about 1 mole of CH4, 2 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of carbon dioxide, and 2 moles of water molecule, like this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm writing very important point here. In order to verify, VERIFY, in order to verify, wait a second. In order to verify mass, the law of conservation of mass, the law of conservation of mass. Okay, in order to verify the law of conservation of mass, we have to balance all the chemical reaction. That means number of number of atoms on reactant side must be equals to number of atoms on product side. Okay, this point you have to remember always. In order to verify the law of conservation of mass, we had to balance all the chemical reaction. Okay, in respect to what? Number of atom must be present in like both the side must be equal. Okay, understood,
Okay,
everyone?
sir.
Yeah. So again, take a screenshot. Now we will discuss the second law for chemical reaction. Done?
Done, sir. One.
Okay. Now done? Okay.
Sir,
So
sir,
now,
can you show it again, sir?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now second
Can you
law.
one scroll up?
Oh. Whenever I'm taking to take a screenshot, you have to take.
Done, sir.
Yeah. Now we are going to discuss the second law. It is again very important. The law of constant proportion. Okay. The law of constant proportion. See, I'm just giving you one example. Suppose I have given one task to Sai Charan to collect different sources of water. So we have the water from ocean. We have water from the river, water from the well, water from tube well, rainwater. We have water which is made in laboratory. We have mineral water.
Sir, how is water made in laboratory?
By chemical reaction, like if we'll burn here,
Okay.
yeah, in
Like if
above
you
reaction, we have
want-
already gone through that. Here, the water was formed in the
Yes,
form
sir,
of
like if you
vapors.
want- Okay.
Yes.
Okay, like that. Okay.
Okay. Then we have the ice water from the polar region. Then we have the pond water. Okay, we have distilled water. Distilled water. We have like again different kind of source, and we have collected all the source for water in a laboratory, and we have examined that all the sources of water, they are formed by various processes. They
So
always contain
1:8 ratio.
yes, no. We will discuss two types of ratio: atomic ratio and atomic mass ratio. Okay, so
Okay.
here we will discuss about first the atomic ratio.
So law of constant proportion is of atomic mass ratio, right?
We will discuss both the ratio, atomic ratio as well as atomic mass ratio. Okay, so see here we have hydrogen H2 oxygen. Okay, so how many hydrogen do we have here? 2. And how many oxygen we have here? 1. So in all the sources of water we have got from the various sources, they have atomic ratio hydrogen H2 oxygen is equals to 2:1. From all the sources of water, we have that constant proportion of atom of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, now we will check the atomic mass ratio now. Atomic mass ratio. Atomic mass ratio. Okay, so we know in H2O molecule we have 2 hydrogen, and hydrogen have atomic mass 1, and total atom we have 2. So total mass by hydrogen or 2 hydrogen atom is 2, and mass of 1 oxygen atom is 16 unit, like 16 atomic mass unit. Okay, so if we will like simplify that, I'm just writing here hydrogen S2 oxygen S2 what it is 2S2 16. If we will simplify that, okay, 2 1 is 2 and 2 8s are 16. So now we have simple ratio which is hydrogen S2 oxygen S2 1 S2 8. So all the sources of water that we have collected from various sources having the atomic mass ratio of 1:8 means it is constant. So it proves that the law of constant proportion. Okay, so the same compound from various sources will always contain same atomic ratio and same atomic mass ratio. This is the law of constant proportion. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, again just take a screenshot. Now we are going to write the statement for that. Just take a screenshot, beta. I hope you got the point, everyone, the concept behind that. Is it? Just do reply. I'm waiting for your response, beta.
Sir, yes.
Okay. I have taken the screenshot, everyone.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So now I'm going to write the statement for the law. Statement. Okay. The law states that the same compound from various sources have the same compound from various sources have constant it is n constant atomic ratio, constant ratio by atom or mass, constant ratio by atoms and atomic mass. So this is the law of constant proportion. Example we have already discussed here, the various sources of water. We can write various sources of carbon dioxide also. Example, second example I'm writing here, various sources of carbon dioxide have constant atomic ratio and atomic mass ratio. And which is just we have to calculate here. Carbon have atomic mass 12, oxygen have atomic mass 16, into we had 2 here, so we had to multiply by 2, so now we had 12 H2 32. So if we will simplify that, we have 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are 32. Okay, so we have 3:8. Therefore, the atomic mass ratio. First, we have to write atomic ratio. Atomic ratio is equals to carbon H2 oxygen is to 1:2. Okay, and atomic mass ratio. Atomic mass ratio is what it is. Carbon H2 oxygen H2 3:8. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is the second example, and we have discussed the first one also in case of water. So take a screenshot for that. Done.
Done, sir.
Here, just in front of have, we can write always also. Okay, like the same compound from various sources always have constant ratios by atom and mass and atomic mass. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to, so any doubt here in both the laws for chemical reaction combination?
No, sir.
No, no. Okay, now we will discuss the third law, last but not the least, and it is the law of multiple proportion. The law of multiple proportion. Okay, the law of multiple proportion. Again, we will discuss that. Suppose I have the carbon in the form of graphite. Okay, I have carbon in the form of graphite. I have burned that graphite in excess of air. In excess of air means what? Sufficient amount of oxygen will present there in order to fully oxidize the carbon. Okay, and I'm just burning that. Okay, it will form beta carbon dioxide gas. Is it or not?
So what's
Yes.
graphite?
It is the allotrope of carbon.
Okay.
The lead that you are using in your pencil is made up of the graphite. Okay.
I mean to say you were burning. Okay, I understood now.
Okay. Okay. I have just taken carbon. You can take coal also, charcoal also, coke powder also. Okay. I have taken here the graphite. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we can say carbon. It is carbon burns in excess of oxygen to form carbon dioxide and heat energy. So we are not discussing about heat now. I'm just discussing about the carbon dioxide. But I am just heating that graphite again. Okay, I'm just taking more graphite and very limited supply of oxygen. Limited supply means few amount of, okay, very less oxygen I'm just supplying, and I am burning that. Okay, then it will form beta carbon monoxide. It will form carbon monoxide. Understood? So
Yes, sir.
we have just changed the condition. In first, we have taken excess of oxygen, and here we have taken limited supply of oxygen. So if we change the condition, product got also changed. So in first case, we got carbon dioxide, and in second case, we got carbon monoxide. Okay, so here if we will check the atomic ratio of carbon and oxygen is what? I'm writing here atomic ratio. It is
It will be
1:2,
yeah,
and atomic mass ratio, it will be 3:8.
3:8. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and here for carbon monoxide, I'm just discussing about
1:1.
carbon monoxide. Okay,
1:1.
so here atomic ratio is what?
1:1.
1:1, and
And atomic mass
atomic
ratio is
mass
3:4.
ratio will
3
be
to 4.
3, yes, 3:4.
3:4.
Yes, see here the same atom we have carbon here and oxygen here, but when different conditions is provided, they react with different proportion here. Is it or not? So this is the law of multiple proportion. Okay, means if different conditions are provided during the chemical reaction, element reacts with differently in different proportion. This is the law of multiple proportion. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we had to write the statement
Yes.
for that statement. So the law states that if different condition is provided during the chemical reaction, combining elements combines with different proportion to form different product. Okay, like when graphite or carbon burns in excess of air, gives carbon dioxide, whereas when graphite or carbon burns in limited supply of air, it gives carbon monoxide. Okay, so this is one of the best example for the law of multiple proportion. Okay,
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
here we have completed the laws for chemical combination. Let's take a screenshot again.
Okay, sir.